You and I, we've been winning for a long time. We're used to winning, so we know what winning's all about. We just carry ourselves like we've been there before because why? Well, because we have been there before.
That's right.
We basically are winners, and that's the way I look at it this morning. I wake up, the Rangers score 8 goals again. This is 17 goals in the last 2 games against the hated Philadelphia Flyers. And even though I know this is really going to annoy the really big boss of our company, there is nothing sweeter in my life than absolutely just wiping out the Flyers, and I have no pity for them, nothing. Over, done with. I wish we played them every freaking game. They are so bad, it is ridiculous how bad they are, and it may get Alain Vigneault fired. Who knows? I mean, it is just pathetic the way that they're playing hockey. Number 2, the New York Knicks reminded me of the New York Knicks that I grew up with, the one that was led by Clyde Frazier. That, you know, they could be down by 10 points with about 30 seconds to go, and somehow, some way, they would figure out a way to get back in the game and win it. I mean, there were so many great comebacks led by Clyde and Earl the Pearl when he finally got here, and Bradley and DeBusschere and Reardon and Barnett, and guys hitting shots after shot, getting rebounds, tip backs, putbacks, everything, you name it. It was amazing. So yesterday, you and I were sitting here, and we were talking about the Knicks. We were talking about the trade deadline. And, yeah, they got rid of Austin Rivers, but who cares? He was unhappy.
Didn't matter. Yep, didn't matter.
It didn't matter. So they made a low-level trade to get rid of a disgruntled guy that, you know, may will have a chance to play in Oklahoma City. Who cares? They bring in a couple guys. Are they going to play? Are they going to be bought out? Are they going to be gone? It doesn't matter. It does not affect the New York Knicks team. And what we saw was the effect of no trades last night. Yeah, they were sleepwalking for about 3 quarters. But you know what? If your best player is having an off night, which Julius Randle was, and this is his second off night, I believe, since the All-Star break, because he had the off night right out of the All-Star break, you have to have somebody else that's going to pick up the slack. And R.J. Barrett did it, and Alex Burks did it last night. And Alex Burks was unbelievable, and so was R.J. And R.J. continues to get better, and he'll have some bad games here and there. But I think we all realize now that given where they were picking at the time, they picked the right guy. Zion Williamson wasn't there. What's his name?
John Morant.
John Morant wasn't there. So they took the next guy. And the next guy has turned out to be a pretty damn good basketball player.
He has come back this year, and he's answered a lot of questions.
And he's going to get better.
Yeah,
he's only going to get better.
I agree. Yeah, it's confidence.
Right.
Confidence
so he's not doing what Zion's doing down in New Orleans, but we understand that he's got his form of his game. What I liked last night, he was taking it to the hoop, got a couple 3-point plays. And, the Rangers were just destroying the Flyers. So I was enjoying that and then flipping over the Knicks. And Rangers were just doing fine. I was flipping over the Knicks. And then, of course, the Islanders won last night. I did flip there for about a second to see if Matt was doing anything. But anyway, it just – watching the Knicks last night just proves again that Leon Rose did the right thing. Low-level trade, who cares? He didn't mess with this team right now. He knows he can't win a championship right now, but he also knows that he owes it to these players for buying into what Tom Thibodeau is selling, that let's go. The fans are into this team. The fans are in. We're all there for them, and I fully expect them to make the playoffs and maybe even win a playoff round or 2, maybe. If they stay healthy, but if they continue to play like this, they were missing 2 of their top guys last night.
Yeah, that would be great if they won a round. That'd be amazing. Now, as long as this team doesn't fall completely off the face of the earth, I'm always going to remember this group. This is just going to be one of those groups that I know there's a long way to go, and maybe they hit a rough patch, but I'm not expecting it because the things you see last night. I mean, even with adversity, they always come back. They always figure out a way. And we're more than halfway through the season at this point, past the trade deadline. I think we know what the Knicks are. But I'm always going to remember this group because it's the first time in a very long time that, I am proud of them. And just back to R.J. Barrett for a second. I mean, think about the pressure that he was under, not just from, putting on that Knicks uniform, but in that draft class. So in his first year as a rookie, Zion Williamson, I know he had some injury issues, and John Morant as well, but these guys are like competing. They're neck and neck, rookie of the year, 1 and 2, unbelievable. And here's R.J. Barrett scuffling a little bit with the Knicks on a high-profile stage in New York. And that's not easy. Also being a big name, everybody knows him, played at Duke. And here he comes back this year, like others on this roster, and just consistently gets better. I mean, and last night, I mean, when I used to feel like when R.J. Barrett had the ball, it was a circus, sort of like the way I feel like Obi Toppin has the ball. It's a circus last year. He didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't confident. Now I want him to have the ball in crunch time. I want him driving to the hoop when the Knicks are down a couple points, and I feel like he can get that bucket for him. I mean, that is a massive transformation. I mean, the guy is, I mean, you saw him flexing last night, after he gets the N1 call as they're making the Furious comeback in the fourth quarter, and it's just like he really has arrived. You don't want to crown anybody too soon in the NBA, but to me, this guy has arrived this season as someone who's going to be a building block for many, many years for this group.
You know what it's called? It's called roster development. It's player development, and this coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for getting these guys, especially the younger guys. Emmanuel quickly, even though he's been inconsistent, you can see, and you hope next year that Emmanuel takes the next step. That he learns, that he becomes mature, and he understands how the game is being played. So I think the player development side is doing a really good job for the Knicks. They're not going to be the 76ers. They're not going to be the Bucks. They're not going to be the Nets. So they somehow have to stay away from one of those two teams or three teams in the first round of the playoffs. If they do that, they can win a first-round matchup. I don't care. They got to get to number, 4, I guess. That would be a nice get for them if they could do that. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than for 10 years I've been sitting here and just ripping away, and it's just mismanagement, wrong coaches, wrong players. The whole thing was screwed up. And kind of like the Jets have been like the last 5 or 6 years. And now you feel like the Jets are stable. I feel like the Knicks are stable. I'm glad Leon Rose didn't go all in. I don't think anybody expected him to, by the way, either. It's not just us. I don't think anybody expected him to do anything.
And I love seeing him there last night. I mean, you haven't seen him a ton throughout the year, but he was there last night, standing up, cheering the comeback, and the camera was on him because I thought that was symbolic. I really do believe that Leon Rose being a big part of the action last night and being a part of the broadcast and the camera on him, he's standing up clapping was, hey, I didn't do anything. I didn't trade away you guys. This is the team. This is the team we have now. Let's do something special, meaning at least make it to the playoffs and be competitive. We know that there's only a handful of teams in the NBA that can win a championship. The Nets are one. The Knicks are not at this stage of the game. But if you want the 4 seed, I mean, it's right there. I mean, you're basically in a virtual tie for the 4 seed right now with the Hornets. They're not going to be with LaMelo Ball the rest of the year.
The other team I would worry about now is the Heat because they got Oladipo.
And the Bulls. I mean, the Bulls are making a run at it, too, going to get Vujicic from the Orlando Magic and teaming him up with Zach LaVine. They're, 5 games under 500 right now, but they're only 3 games behind the Knicks. That's a team that's like, hell, let's just go for it.
I just feel like, for the Knicks, it's good. They should feel good in that locker room. And, I even think Tom Thibodeau is saying all the right things. I mean, he's trying. I know that coaches want players, and that's all they care about. They want players. But in this case, it sounds like he understands exactly what Leon Rose, Scott Perry, if you want to say Worldwide West and Steve Stout, when you want to throw that all of them in there, I think that Thibodeau understands what they're trying to do. And Thibodeau's job and job one was restore pride in that uniform, and he has done that in spades. I don't care what anybody says. He has been the leader. He has gotten them back to playing defense. And then, of course, Julius Randle and then the development of R.J. Barrett, even Taj Gibson last night. He gets a little extra playing time. He makes the most of it. Alec Burks, more playing time. Well, he's getting a lot of playing time anyway, but he shows up last night when Julius Randle's not having a great night. So all of that stuff is great stuff to see. I just want it to stay that way. I want them to stay committed, and I believe they will. I believe they will. I mean, it's fun watching. It was just like fun watching the Rangers last night.
Sure.
It's like Mika Zibanejad all of a sudden is like reignited again. And when you have him and you have your number one goalie, now all of a sudden the team looks like a real team again. You just hope it's not too late.
Man, there's so much winning around here. I don't know what to do with it.
We win. They win. We win every day.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, there really is a ton of it. And think about it. You're heading into a baseball season where both teams are expected to be 90-win teams at the very least.
More winning. I mean, it's just it's a Friday. It feels good. You wake up, your team won last night. I know the Devils didn't win, but your team wins, and you're feeling just like, wow. It's a great Friday.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great day outside today.
Sure.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's going to hit
no matter what Spankface and his friends say in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. Why? Because we're winners. We know the feeling.
Who's Spankface?
You know Spankface.
Which one's Spankface?
Well, which one do you think is?
I don't know. Are you talking about Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What did he say?
He's yapping at Al yesterday, claiming that he set the way this program works in the morning 15 years ago. You would have thought that he invented radio yesterday.
Oh.
And I felt bad for Al. I'm with you, Al, by the way, in this whole argument between you and Craig.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I went right back at them on Twitter.
I know you did. You are so fierce, it's unbelievable.
Well, these two guys are as close as you could humanly be.
I know, but I can't have him calling out our producer in the morning like he created Al Dukes when Al Dukes created himself. Craig was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He goes, I want to wait for 3 years. Oh, really? Did you?
Yeah.
How'd we do? How'd we do while you were gone?
I'm sorry, I'm ill prepared for this conversation. I didn't hear what he said. I'm not trying to do a Mike Francesa.
All right.
I gotta
okay.
go. I gotta go and listen to it and understand what's going on.
Al, would you like to explain?
He said he invented no guests on WFAN.
So they were having callers yesterday arguing, not arguing, so why don't you talk more about hockey?
Okay.
He says, well, we don't talk about hockey because, it shows in the ratings that it goes down. And then he kind of went into, if you have a guest, it shows the rating meters, they go down.
Okay.
And that's why we try to stay away from guests. But Al was right. They have guests. We very rarely have guests. And if we do have a guest, it's because it may be somebody I book or you book. So I wanted Portnoy on right in the middle of that GameStop and stuff when it was all going on, right at the height of it. And I asked Al to reach out to Portnoy, right, Al?
That's correct.
And Al got him, and we put him on. I also wanted that Slava Malmud, the Russian writer, writing about Panarin, because I thought it would be interesting because it's a little cross-section of society, sports, politics, and all that other stuff, with Putin all over Panarin.
Right.
So I wanted to have him on. So I asked Al to reach out to him, and he did, and he got him. So Al basically said if there's a guest on in the morning, it's because the hosts are pushing for that guest and are okaying the guest. But we don't like to have guests on in the morning. And according to Craig yesterday, he is the one that set that standard for Al.
Oh, okay. So that was the beef. And then Al is saying, no, Al was the one who set the standard, and we're continuing to veto it. I mean, there's many things that come across our plate.
Well, we talked about this the other day.
Yeah, many guests that come across our plate.
Right.
But also, we do like to have in-studio guests.
If we have a very interesting in-studio guest.
But we're not allowed to do that anymore.
But Al was right 15 years ago when he said, look, guests suck, and that's why those Super Bowl shows suck.
Oh, yeah, I know. I love going to the Super Bowl because it's a lot of fun.
We all do, and I think Al loves it too, but he just hates the whole feeling of it, and, it doesn't sound right, and, some of the guests are great. There's no question about that, but when you start getting into, extends and all this other stuff and Depends and Metamucil and, Miralax.
Sure.
Whatever the guys are pushing, then it gets a little cumbersome.
It does. And it's one after another. A lot of the same guys.
But I want you to know that I publicly supported Al.
Oh, okay, good.
And I just hashtagged it faux real.
Oh, look at that.
Because Al's all about being faux real.
And I had referenced it as fake news.
Right. And
you had fake news situation.
Yes, exactly. So Spank was all over the place yesterday.
I saw a video. So
He's obviously not taking his medicine.
The reason why I was confused early on was I saw that there was other hosts that were slamming this radio station. I thought you were talking about that.
Who are the other hosts slamming this radio station?
Well, no, I got tagged in one of those videos. I did not get tagged in this. So when I woke up and I looked at that, I did see that video. I didn't see the other one.
And who? Can you tell me who that is?
I'll show it to you in the break because I don't. You know me. Why am I going to bring this up?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
What is the point?
Losers.
It's a feel good Friday.
It is a feel good Friday.
Why do I care?
Winning all over the place.
Honestly,
it's all about winning right now.
I mean,
unless of course you're on the GW Bridge.
Well, yeah, and Karen Stewart will tell you about that.
You're not winning over.
She's off today.
Oh, she is?
Yep.
Oh, what deadpan loser is filling in for her?
Why do you say a deadpan loser?
Because there's always a deadpan loser.
The guy just trying to feed
it's
his
always
family.
the worst. So, hello, well, we're good. Because Karen Stewart's so good. And then you get some guy who's just like total monotone. And he tells you about the traffic, and it stinks.
Well, it's a gal. It's Jody Vale, and she's filled in with us before.
That one guy who was filled in a couple times, he was really bad. Remember we called him up and told him to pick up the energy?
Yes, I can't remember.
I don't remember his name.
Especially now with us winning around here.
I love it. It's a winner's Friday, in addition to a feel good Friday.
It is 100%.
I apologize to the Devils fans. I know they're probably feeling a little bit left
but
out here.
They had won 4 out of their last 5 until last night.
Right, so they're still technically winners.
Yeah.
Still technically winners. By the way, did you get a Boomer and Geo hat yet?
No, I didn't get that. I got one of these.
I saw that one. It's
WFAN
made me
blue
think
hats.
of it.
I don't know what really this is, but
I want to get one of those Boomer and Geo snapback hats.
do we have one?
Well, they made them, and I thought we were going to have them by now. I was looking forward to wearing it today on the Feel Good Friday.
You know what's typical about this morning show? We promote the WFAN merch, and we all wear the WFAN merch, even though some of it looks ugly, and you had to wear your V-neck shirt
that was
the other
not
day.
built. That was not good
See, I
for
had
my.
the same thing on, no V-neck.
Yeah, my body type did not agree with that particular shirt, but that does not mean that
No,
yours
it's fine.
will
It's
not.
fine.
Yeah.
No, mine didn't. I have a nice pullover, quarter zip blue and black. I got those in my office. It's all great.
Yeah.
And that's what we're promoting. WFAN merch.
Yeah.
Guys in the afternoon, what are they promoting? Carton and Roberts merch. Of course, individuals, all about themselves, all about how great they are, what wonderful people they are, how they're making a difference in the world. And it's just, it's just like they forget that they're a part of a team. Sometimes I think that they put themselves on an island on purpose. And I don't know why.
Interesting.
I just don't know why they just can't embrace the team concept.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily feel that way, but you must have heard something yesterday.
I heard a lot. Yes, I got a lot of people sending me a lot of stuff. Yes, you know how
really?
people tattle on people
on the
radio and all
yeah.
that
Well,
stuff.
that's what there was about that other
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Someone's like, "Oh, you got to talk about this," and I was like,
And it's not that I want to talk about it, but listen, when you get called out, and especially when our producer gets called out,
"Yeah."
and they also got mad because they were screaming about like 2 10-year-olds not getting their MLB The Show beta copy.
Oh,
I didn't get mine.
Still playing video games, those
like
two?
whiny biatches that they are. And then I just texted Craig during the show. I said, well, I got mine 3 weeks ago. I don't know. How come you guys, basically every league sends me their stuff.
Well, of
I don't
course.
know why, if Craig were still with me in the morning,
you might get
he
one of
probably
those.
would still get one.
Right, he
But
would
now
get
that
one.
he's not, and, he's a non-athlete. And,
Yeah.
he works in the afternoon.
Well,
and
I
he's
got
with
one.
He's with another non-athlete.
I got one. I threw it out.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't played a video game in like.
Well, that's the other thing. He knows that I
20
don't play
years.
video games. He knows
Yeah.
I don't know how to hook up the video games and all that. So I just sent it to Gunn.
Yeah. No, I just.
He wanted me to put it on his desk, and I'm
Right.
like, I'm not putting it on your desk. I'll do what I normally do with it. I'll send it to my son.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even know what it was.
I mean, how old? Hey, Al?
Yes,
How old is Craig?
52.
He's acting like a 10-year-old. I didn't get mine.
Oh, if
come on.
I knew he was so interested, I would have given him mine as opposed to throwing it out.
Yeah, I mean, I
asked Gina. I was like, "You didn't know what this is?" She goes, "No." I said, "Neither do I." Garbage.
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 Yeah.
I was like, and then I went on to being an adult after that.
Right, exactly. You went right to becoming an adult. So I
right after that,
appreciate
then started paying some bills and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I did. All right, Boomer and Gio on the Fan, CBS Sports Network.
Some people have more bills than others.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.